Good evening, Gungeoneers. Welcome back to Enter the Gungeon. Last time we finally unlocked the bullet that can kill the past with the pilot, and we killed his past. You can see that on the little indicator there. This time around we'll be taking out the hunter. The reason I picked the hunter is because I decided to open up a poll to see who we were taking out next, and the hunter won the poll. And from now on I'll be placing those polls into YouTube comments so people that don't have access to forums can also play it, or vote. I mentioned that there should be people here, and I remember how to get them out now. You have to go into the tutorial section again and talk to Manny. Luckily, Manny does have his eye on what's important, and that is revenge. As a reward, we've unlocked the Betrayer's Shield, which is an automatic weapon that, when you reload it, it creates a shield around you. It's okay, I guess. And now that we've talked to Manny, now they're out here basking in their righteous vengeance. So before we go too far, I'm actually going to activate a special gameplay option, which is Beast Mode. And the reason for doing that is by beating the game on Beast Mode, you unlock a special item. And of course we have to hop into the acquisitions department to take a quick look around. We can actually afford both of these things. Hot lead just gives you fiery bullets, and the flash ray is, well, flashy, to say the least. It's not good, but it's flashy. And this time around we will be trying to defeat the hunter's past. The hunter hasn't changed at all, the Gungeon hasn't changed at all. Really what I'm worried about is that I might run out of things to say as I keep going through these videos. So what can I talk about? It's actually been a week since I played this, so I may be a little rusty. A lot of people have been... Oh, hey, look, there's a secret room. I guess some bullets must have hit it. Whoa, that's a really good secret room! A lot of people have been talking about the game and how, you know, comparing it to other roguelikes, such as The Binding of Isaac. Gungeon seems really hard. And one way I can, you know, I've been seeing a lot of discussion on it on both sides. And something to consider is that, well, Isaac isn't exactly balanced around being balanced, if that makes sense. Isaac is sort of balanced around you getting ridiculous runs on a fair amount of time, and you may notice if you have a bad floor 1 or floor 2, there's a lot of times that you'll reset that run and just go again until you get a treasure room as one of your first doors. Gungeon isn't really the same way, for me at least. If I have a bad starting run on Gungeon, I'll usually keep going, just to see what the next few floors may hold. And, of course, I may be in part of the minority there because a lot of the people I've heard from have also said that, well, they're having a lot of trouble getting past floor 2. And that's perfectly understandable. This game is hard. I mean, like I said, you're going to have to die a lot in order to learn enemy mechanics, in order to learn bosses, things like that. One of the things a lot of people have said is, it seems maybe a little bit unfair that the game rewards flawless playing with more health, when it seems like, well, the players who get hit during boss fights are the players that need the health more. And that's understandable, but I don't know. I guess this game just hits the right difficulty threshold for me, in that it doesn't have time for your crap. I mean, another game that I'm a huge fan of is God Hand, which also has no time for your crap. I don't think I'll be going through the oubliette this time, just because, well, I'm trying to kill the past, and I don't want to get too interrupted. You know, I only want to make a 1 hour long video, not an hour and 10 minutes. You know, despite having 4 keys, I still don't think you should ever spend a key on a brown chest. And yeah, it's only junk, but at the same time, brown chests are garbage. Like, you really might think that I have the keys to spare, but I might be able to get good stuff out of the shop instead. Which I would rather have. Maybe a gun, or something that I can actually, maybe something like the Litchi Trigger Finger. It's not a huge difference, but it's noticeable. What else can I talk about? Once I do finish killing all the past, there's quite a few more things to see. It's not just once you kill the past, the game's over. There are a few more hidden characters that we'll be running across. Of course, there's secret characters. Why wouldn't there be? But you still have to rescue most of the people that are going to be hanging out in and around the breach. Which there's quite a few quests that are involved along those lines as well. Not to mention, well, once you do finally kill the past all the characters, maybe things get a little bit harder. Just as an example of things that we haven't seen yet, you may recall that on floor 2 there is that strange, floor 2, there's that strange altar that looks like there's maybe a position for a crest or something at the top of it. And that's another sort of secret level, kind of like the oubliette, which we'll be getting to eventually. Just, you know, not yet. Blue chest, definitely worth spending a key on. I mean, even if it's a passive item, it could, you know, we'll see. And this is, oh, Shade's revolver. Neat. So, Shade's revolver, it's a revolver, has 6 shots, it has a decent rate of fire, and it fires as fast as you can click. But the secret benefit to it is that it also increases your coolness, because much like Shade's, you just exude a strange amount of coolness. Maybe it's the Shades. I picked up a key on this floor, so... yeah, you can see here, because I picked up the key, the shopkeeper actually does not have any keys in stock. The Ring of Mimic Friendship. You know what? I could see myself doing this. So, I mentioned that any items you buy from Cursula will increase your curse. And I think what I'll do is I'll get the wax wings. And by buying those, you see that little skull above my head, that increases your curse by 2.5. And what I want to do is when I get 7 more casings, I'll come back here and buy the Ring of Mimic Friendship. And what that will do is, because of curse, that means I'll have a greater chance of mimics showing up as chests. Ooh, assuming I can get 7 casings from this boss. Mimics have a greater chance of showing up from chests, but the Ring of Mimic Friendship means that, well, they'll be on your side. And who do we have? It's the Bullet King. I'll be probably skipping boss intros for bosses that we have already seen after this video, but I know there are going to be a few that have not cropped up yet. So the reason I picked up the wax wings is the wax wings are a pretty handy little passive item that basically you're never on the ground anymore. You never have to worry about floor creep, you never have to worry about falling into pits. I mean, you're flying. And of course the too close to the sun, or too close to the gun I should say reference, is a reference to Icarus of Greek mythology. His wax wings, he flew too close to the sun and they burned off, and then he fell to his death. Poor Icarus. Actually, was Icarus the father? I don't recall. I think Icarus was the father, and it was his son who had the wax wings and flew too high, and then... hey, look at that! We got exactly 7 crests, or 7 casings, so we're perfect, we're good to go. We do pick up, I think it's a new item, the Alien Sidearm, is a reference to Halo. Go ahead and grab that. It's a reference to Halo. The Alien Sidearm was a Covenant pistol that you could charge up, and the reason it's called Shield Breaker is because the charged bullets could instantly break shields. It's a charged weapon. It's not as good as the Mega Hand, but it's useful. I would say that the Alien Sidearm is probably a decent weapon to use as room clearing for maybe a floor or 2. But unfortunately after that, you can see here it takes 3 charge shots to kill a blue shotgun again. it falls off pretty quickly. That guy took less because he was in that explosion range, but the alien sidearm unfortunately falls off pretty quickly. Against enemies that do not have much endurance, it's pretty good, but the problem is finding those enemies that don't have any endurance. Another complaint that people have pointed out over time is that a lot of the enemies in the Gungeon are sort of bullet sponges. And of course, now that I have Curse level on me, it's going to get even worse, because cursed enemies, if you thought, like, as you went down in floors, regular enemies soaked up ammo, cursed enemies soak up ammo like nobody's business. You may have seen it a few times when I've been fighting enemies like the Gun Knights, because we've run into a few of those on floor 5 just as part of the room. But yeah, cursed enemies they are ammo sucks. Luckily, most of the time, if a cursed enemy is on their own, you can always swap to something like the pistol to just deal with them and really not have to worry too much about their bullet spread. If they're not on their own, then you may have a few more issues. This is a chest, it's locked, so it's not a mimic, but we have found the bionic leg, which just increases our speed. Another neat thing about the wax wings, we don't trip these floor traps either, so that's nice. And actually, yeah, most of the time I'm going to forget I have these, but for that one room that you had to, that I grabbed the Mega Dowser for to grab that piece of the, what's it called? The bullet that can kill the past, the wax wings are another way to get around that. There is another way of flying in the game, which is a jetpack. It's an active use item. The downside to that one being that, well, it's an active use item, and the jetpack, while it's active, you actually can't roll around. I'm actually feeling really confident on keys, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up. Of course, this will probably, you know, bite me later when I need one, but, you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take right now. It looks like that Lead Maiden dropped the arm that we need to deliver up to Ox. So somewhere on this floor we'll also find a balloon that we can use to float up even higher. Although we picked up a key, he still has one in stock, which is okay. I still might buy that too. The iBomb companion app, I believe if there's any explosives, it lets you detonate them by using your active item. And of course we have the cell creep. They're also selling the sawed-off shotgun, which I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I don't really like it when you start with it to begin with, but it doesn't really get any better when you get it from a chest. Oop! Haha. Yeah, sometimes the Gundead will exhibit a fairly decent level of strategic thinking by blowing up barrels that you happen to be standing next to. And here's our first jammed enemy we've encountered. Right now our curse is at 2.5. It can go, I want to say, up to an unlimited number of curse, but, well, really most of the time you'll never find yourself going past 10 curse. And there is a very specific reason for that, which I'm sure we'll encounter at some point. Now that we found the balloon, we can send the arm on up, and on the next run through, we'll see that on the previous floor. This is one of those situations where, well, this enemy has gotten easy, and honestly, with being the only one left, I may not want to spend too much of my special ammo on it. And this is something else that came up in the thread is, if there was one piece of advice I'd give you, it's get comfortable with your starting sidearm. I believe I've said that before, but the starting sidearm is really enough to get you through most things. I mean, it may not be the most efficient, and sometimes, I mean, what's the point of having so many fun guns in a game where you run out of ammo? That's another complaint that I've been seeing is people wondering why the game gives you all these amazing... Oh, I got hit by something. I got hit by two things. Okay, I'm not focusing anymore. Why the game gives you all these amazing guns if it doesn't give you the ammo to use them. And I don't think that's exactly the case. rolled right into that one. Okay, I need to start focusing. Or stop screwing around with my sidearm. The game really does give you enough ammo to maybe sample weapons as you get them, but it doesn't expect you to focus on one for too long, because then you'll never try the other ones out. At least that's what I believe. The game limits your ammo consumption, not because it hates you using a certain gun, but because some guns need to be balanced and other guns, well, you'd never give them a shot otherwise. Here we have a green chest, which I will check for secrets first. Looks like we found one. And up here we just have a blank, which, you know, blank for blank, I'll take it. And we have the Void Shotgun. I don't think we've seen this one before. I don't know if the Void Shotgun is a specific reference to anything. The quote it gives is CQC, which would make sense because the Void Shotgun does not have very good range. You can see here it actually fizzles out pretty quickly. But it does a high amount of damage, and it's... I mean, I like it. I'll probably use it for this boss. It's the best weapon I have at the moment. And it's the B-holster, and as I said, I'm going to start skipping these boss intros. You can skip the intros by hitting the E key. The Void Shotgun really wouldn't be my first choice for a boss-killing weapon, but it's what I got, so... And as you can see, I hardly even have the range to hit this guy once I'm not very close to him. But luckily it does take out these missiles very well. So something I am going to be trying to do this run is getting the master round off of every floor. Oh, neat. Got a active use item. We've seen this coin before. We saw it last run. But something I'm going to be trying to do is to get the master round for every chamber. And the reason for that is, well, if you get all 4 master rounds in a single run, you actually unlock a new passive item. And it's very useful. It's also just kind of neat. So, the iron coin I'm actually going to hold on to, at least until I find another active item, because at the moment, I'm actually doing fairly well on most things, except for ammo. I mean, I've used 3 weapons, the alien sidearm, the crossbow, and the shotgun, but we actually haven't seen any ammo drops. Okay, I spoke too soon. There's a buffer, and there he is. The other reason I like to use the alien sidearm for room clearing is that it has a fairly large ammo pool. So, as long as you're charging up every shot and making them count, you really shouldn't run out for a long time. There was a key here as well. Did 3 things. Oh no! That must have been something Junior dug up and I missed it. So you saw the 2 items spawned right here, but sometimes after a room is cleared, Junior here will dig up an additional item. Maybe it's a blank, maybe it's a key, it could be anything. But I am actually going to hold on for this until I get the key from this floor. I think I forgot to go back and buy the key from the last floor. Oh, I walked right into it. Yeah. Oh, that's a mutant. What's he doing here? So, if you're standing on top of enemies while they spawn in, you will take a hit from contact damage. That mutant should only be in the oubliette. That may be a side effect of Curse. I honestly don't know. I'm really kind of curious. Huh. That's interesting. So let's see what we've got. Cursula is still here. She is selling a cheap blank, the Huntsman, which... no. And the Charmed Bow, which... definitely no. We have some C4 and we have a key. I'll take the key, and then I'll go ahead and go back and grab the other one. The Huntsman is a very... it's like a shotgun, and when you reload, it has the ability to... you swing it like an axe and it knocks bullets out of the air, but... the Huntsman's not a very good shotgun to begin with. On top of that, as a cursed item, Well, it increases your curse just by buying anything from Cursula, but on top of that, well, the Huntsman is also a cursed weapon, where if you, just by holding the Huntsman, you actually have increased cursed, and there are a few guns like that, and I'm pretty sure we'll be running into a few of them as we go along. It'll be fun. Oddly enough, I think Cursula does sell most of them, so good for her, you know, and you got... I should have rolled sooner. When you got one thing, you might as well stick with it, right? Okay, we have more ammo. I think I'm going to refill the crossbow, because the alien sidearm is actually still doing really well. And there is a cell key, so we must be just about to find a new friend. So one enemy that I do always have trouble with is these blue mages. Their circles of bullets are just... they're a little bit too big for me to be able to dodge comfortably. I mean, normally I'll be able to dodge into the circle, but dodging back out of it to dodge both waves is where the difficulty comes in. We do have another hidden chest here, or not hidden chest, but a chest. Still looking for secret rooms, and it looks like there's nothing, so we'll open this up and find another heart container. This one's the Heart Lunchbox. And our new friend is the Gunsling King and his manservant, Manservantes. We'll encounter them a bit later, and the Gunsling King is always a welcome find. He gives you challenges throughout the Gungeon, and as we encounter him more, he'll give us a chance to get some possibly decent weapons. Though some of his challenges are real junk, I'm certainly not looking forward to some of them. It's not like they're particularly hard, they're tedious. Still looking for one or two other particular denizens of the Gungeon, which I'd really prefer to find them sooner rather than later, just because having them unlocked sooner means I can get to work on some of the longer-term, more tedious unlocking quests. There's another key here, we'll take that. We're actually doing really well on keys. I think that first room, having that first secret room we found with the 3 keys in it, was probably sort of a windfall. I'm feeling really confident about this run, assuming I can manage to stop getting shot in the face. But you know, it might happen. Have another green chest here. We'll peer down here first for secrets. Something to note on secret rooms, I really don't think there would be one on this wall because there's not enough space for a secret room. Whenever I go into these rooms and I only shoot certain walls, it's because there has to be enough space for the hallway and the room leading to it, so the only wall that a secret room could really be in for this room is this southern wall, because you see there's nothing down here. Now if I explore more of the map and it turns out there is a room here, I'll feel stupid, but you know, we'll take that as it comes. We found the AK-47, which I don't think we found yet. The AK-47 is just, I mean, it's a solid gun. It has very fast reload time. It has good accuracy. It has good damage. It's a very non-offensive gun. I don't really know I don't know what else to say about it. It's basic, and so you can hear Junior is digging up another key for us, which I don't recall if he dug up anything for me the last time I played the Hunter, so you can see it's somewhat RNG based as to whether he's actually helpful or not. And here we have the boss, and I believe we've explored everything. I think I'll take the AK-47 out for a spin. And it's the Treadnought. Of course it is. Oh, I ate that bullet. Guess that's no master round here. And I ate that explosion too. Jeez. That's a lot of bullets. I don't like this. Nope. The AK-47 really isn't the best weapon for boss killing, but, you know, I figured I'd try something new. I mean, I see all these other Gungeon using it, I just wanted to fit in. You may notice that the extra guys that the guy spawns, the tank spawns, are the Gungeon that have the helmets on and they use AK-47s. They're a bit more disciplined than their brethren. Not as disciplined as the veteran bullet can, but still disciplined enough to fire in short bursts, usually fairly accurately. And our weapon for this time is the shot bow. It's a crossbow that fires out multiple arrows in a shotgun-like configuration. Why not? I think I'll take the shot bow out for a spin for a while. It really doesn't have the accuracy I'd be looking for as something to do boss killing. It also fires fairly slowly, mostly because I think it takes time to slot in another round of bolts for your bowing pleasure. It's not a bad weapon, it's just, well, I have a lot of other good weapons. It suffers from sort of the same issue that the sawed-off shotgun has in that it's not very good at what it does. I mean, you have to be very close to make sure that all the bolts hit. Individually, the bolts are kind of weak. It's not great. It's still welcome. I mean, it's still fun. It's just, it's very finicky. Actually, we're really solid on keys. We should be good for keys through the end of the game now. I mean, we have 2 chests on this floor, 2 chests on the next floor, and anything that comes between. I feel like I'm really good on chests. Or keys, I should say, so I'll go ahead and pick it up. Here I'm almost through the shot bow's ammo, and it just really has not been, well, impressing me. I mean, the biggest thing it does have going for it is if you need to do something quick, like I wanted to interrupt that summoner, you don't have to aim very well. You just have to. Looks like he froze himself at some point, or somebody's bullet must have grazed one of those ice bombs. But yeah, you don't have to be very accurate. You just have to aim in the general direction, and there's a good chance one of the bolts will hit it. But if you do get close to him, it actually does a large amount of damage. The problem is, well, you're going to have to be that close to him. For enemies that don't fire immediately, it's not such a bad thing. For most of them, it's going to be a bigger issue. It's, like I said, it has some of the same issues as the sawed-off shotgun. It's not good enough at what it does to make it worth the risk, I would say. I don't think the shot bow has any particular synergies either, so I don't really know of any way to make it better. But, you know, it's something new. I'll try it out. Jeez, I am drowning in keys. What's going on? I wonder if there's a secret on either one of these walls. Not that one. Nope, no secrets, and unfortunately our shot bow has run dry. So let's see, I haven't used Shade's revolver at all. I'll go ahead and swap to that for a while. Oh, I was wrong. It doesn't fire as fast as you can pull the trigger. It's actually a bit slower. It does a fair amount of damage, so it's got that in its favor. And if you are really averse to the basic pistol, well, it's not the basic pistol. Uh-oh. Yeah, I would actually say the revolver does a fair amount of damage for the slow rate of fire and everything. It's good. Use it. I mean, there's no point in picking up all these guns if you don't use them. I think I'm having better luck killing these shotgun kin with this than I was with the shot bow. It's also fairly accurate. I want to say if you have both Shades and Smiles revolvers, yes, you can pick up both of them. I want to say you get a special synergy, but I don't know what the synergy is off the top of my head. It's one of the things I'd probably see it as I see it when I'd recognize it when I see it. I don't think it's anything like more damage of these jerks. Oop. And there's some ammo. I really don't want to fill up the shot bow. That's full. I'll fill up the AK. And we can use that for room clearing later if need be. There's another one of those red mages around here. And he's going to try and heat up some more of my bullets. It's not going to work. Gold casings. You may have briefly seen it there. Gold casings are extremely valuable. They give you 50 casings. That's really good. It's also a gigantic step up. I think casings come in 3 flavors. You have your basic brass casings, you have silver casings, which give you 5, and then you have gold casings, which give you 50. I mean, there's no in between there. 1, 5, or 50. Pick your poison. Once in a while you get lucky and find something like that, and I will never complain about getting 50 casings. I believe there's a secret here. This has a chest, a heart, which I actually need, and more hearts. Should open that first. And we'll go ahead and open this chest, and we have found Table Tech Stun. So something I don't really do very often is flip tables. Nice, we got a red chest too. I don't flip tables very often. It's not because flipping tables isn't fun, it's because I don't always find it useful. That's what some of the Table Tech stuff aims to alleviate. Here we have the Thunderclap. This is a reference to a Doom weapon, the Plasma Cannon. I think it's the Plasma Gun, something like that. It's decent. Oop. That is a special enemy. So you notice that Bulletkin is actually wearing a cape. If possible, I want to try and leave him alive until the very end. I really don't want to kill that guy if I can avoid it. But he is just aiming to get killed. Unfortunately I couldn't keep him alive. What have we got here? We have the heavy boots and some hearts. Yeah, so the caped Bulletkin, if you leave them alive at the end of a room, they'll actually pop up and eventually they'll teleport their way out. Where they're going, well, you only find that out once you let 5 of them teleport out. I'll spoil it. They're a secret character. I don't really feel like offering any blanks. What I want to do is find the boss room. Actually, haven't even found the shop yet either. Hey, boss room. Well, let's find the shop first. The Thunderclap is not an amazing weapon, but it's pretty good. I mean, it is from an A rank chest, so it can't be too terrible, right? I also mentioned that I think I mentioned that it electrifies. You'll notice that this enemy sometimes leaves behind water puddles, and enemies walking through water that's been electrified can be damaged. The Mega Dowser is actually a really good way of taking care of things like that. Like, you can set enemies. You can douse them with water and then you can actually electrocute them. And there is actually another secret character that relies on that. Normally I wouldn't bother with this, but, well, we've got the money and we've got the keys. I will definitely buy Shadow Bullets. And actually I'm going to buy the ammo synthesizer too. I know something we got before was the heart synthesizer. I think we got that on the first run. The ammo synthesizer is like that, but for ammo. Which, you know, I have a lot of guns. I'd like to keep some ammo for them. I'm going to go ahead and spend the rest of the Thunderclap, and, oh hey, it's this guy. So, the Warmonger, last time we fought him I had the Ring of Fire Resistance, so I was able to stand in the middle of the room without taking any fire damage. And, unfortunately, because I'm flying this time, I have the same ability. Somebody was looking for how exactly you fight this guy without taking advantage of that, and I'm going to try to demonstrate that now. So this technique is a little easier for me, because I am currently... because I do currently have a little bit of extra speed, but what you want to do is you either want to roll over the fire, or you're going to want to roll through the giant wave of bullets coming at you. My preferred method is to roll through the giant wave of bullets just because, well, that's what I'm used to. And it is a little easier for me because I have some extra speed. There are a few things that will increase the efficiency of your dodge. But, you know, shades, there it is. Ah, ate that. Yeah, there are a few things that will increase the efficiency of your dodge and make it either faster or less vulnerability frames, things like that. But I don't have any of those on hand, so I'm making up for it with raw speed. And unfortunately, we still haven't taken this guy down. We haven't taken down any of the 4th floor bosses without taking a hit, I don't think. But, well, the 4th floor is tough. It's really the only floor where I have not mastered any of the bosses. Probably the closest I am is Kill Pillars, and, well, I don't think I got them on the first go against them either, so. We're actually making pretty good time. We're about 40 minutes in, and we're already on the 5th floor. I will definitely be taking advantage of my wings to not have to worry about dodging over all this crap. Because why would I? That's why I got the wings. Okay, there's a chest down that way. I'm not sure how to get there just yet. I think this is another variety of enemy that people have said they have trouble with. The cubes that fire up bullets. Maybe they're like ballistic gel. I really don't know a good way to tell you to get around these guys, I'm afraid. I really think Gungeon is one of those games that you only get better at by being bad at it, honestly. Nice. Thanks, Junior. You only get better at it by being bad at it, and that means that, well, you're going to have to take some lumps. Possibly a lot of lumps. Nice. The ammo synthesizer hasn't come in handy yet, but I have faith. We already found the boss door. I wasn't expecting that. Figured it was going to be a little more difficult to find. Before we take on the boss, we do need to find the forge, or the shop, so we can get another bullet to kill the past. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Oh, hello. Ooh, that got dicey. Alright. Hey, look, ammo. Okay, what do I want to fill up? I will fill up the Thunderclap, and I'll go ahead and empty out the rest of Shade's revolver in case we find some more. It's at this point where I really think guns like the Alien Sidearm really start to fall off. They still have their uses, especially if you have nothing left, but, well, you know. Something I've heard people complain about is the health inflation that enemies get, and it's a thing, don't get me wrong. Enemies definitely get a lot more health as you go down in floors, but I guess I've never seen it as that big of an issue. Now, if you really want something to be salty about, something else that happens is that bosses actually have a high cap on the amount of damage they can take on a given floor. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I know that there is actually a certain amount of DPS that you can do to the bosses before it actually tones it down and reduces it. That cap does... Oh, that is exactly what I do not want to see. A jammed lich. That is the worst. You want to talk about somebody that's going to eat a lot of bullets. There's this guy. What can I do? Shotgun will work. So the reason I hate seeing these kinds of guys as jammed is they already take a lot of damage to kill, but, and I mean, you can see how much damage I'm pushing into them. But each one of those bullets can take off a full heart of health instead of the normal half heart. Now, if you're taking ammo hits, then, you know, you're just going to take a full hit on your, or armor, I should say. You're going to take a full hit of armor either way. But, oh, I hate those guys. The liches themselves can always be a little bit of a tough to fight, but when they get jammed, that is just the absolute worst. Something that is handy, guns that fire multiple pellets, like the shot bow or like the void shotgun, they do benefit individually from the, what's it called? From the shadow bullets. So each individual pellet has a chance of being copied for that. Found our first chest for this floor. It's a green chest. Make a quick check for a secret room. There's nothing there. So what do we got? We have the Demon Head. This is a reference to Shadow Warrior, not the first one. We've had some sharp-eyed people in the thread recognize a mask that's sitting inside the shopkeeper's area, but the Demon Head shoots out a constant beam of energy, and I don't recall if it pops up in Shadow Warrior the remake. But I do know it was definitely in the original games. Of course, it didn't quite shoot out a beam of pure energy, but, well, you know, the game takes creative liberties. I want to say the version that shoots out pure energy was in the remake. What do we have? We have the gas mask, which will make us immune to poison on the ground, which is kind of useless considering we're flying. But we got some more armor, so I'll take it. Another benefit of the Demon Head is that it will set enemies on fire, which, well, you may have the patience for that to work and you may not. It also does constant damage over time. It's a really good weapon. Here we have the forge. Okay, so first thing we do, we'll talk to the shopkeeper to get our bullet that can kill the past, but I think I'm also going to buy the sniper rifle, just in case we need some additional damage. I think I'll go ahead and open up the other chest, just because I'm interested to see what's in it. I mean, I could go and kill the boss now, but... Treasure! actually really glad to see. I've been happy to see the lack of jammed enemies. We've only seen 2 for the entire run, and it could certainly be worse. In fact, once we... well, one of the last kind of runs I plan on doing for the game is going to be a cursed run. And in that case, your curse starts out at 9 from the beginning of the game. And it's actually really difficult, and I've only fully completed a cursed run once. But I'm willing to do it again. Something I should mention about those caped bulletkin. They really only pop up once you have defeated one of the pasts, I believe. If you haven't killed the past on anybody, then you are not likely to find them. But you'll notice that they're non-violent. At no point was the caped bulletkin shooting at me. He just, unfortunately, got in the way of where my bullets were. Something I should mention about jammed enemies. Bosses can also be jammed. And I'm really kind of hoping that the High Dragon doesn't get jammed, because otherwise this is going to take a little bit longer. I mean, it's still entirely doable. It's just, well, I might be taking a few more hits. Green chest, we'll open that. We found a crutch. I don't know if we've seen the crutch before. The crutch will assist you with your aiming. Go ahead and buy a ballot just for fun. Helps us with our reload speed. The crutch will actually assist your bullets in wherever they're going. Your bullets will actually try to home in on the closest enemy. Because, you know, that's helpful like that. But we've found everything. Might as well go in and take on the boss. You can tell by the color of his bullets that the High Dragon is not jammed. Most of the time I actually have trouble telling because, well, he's already red. Telling if he's dark red is a little tougher. Now you might be thinking to yourself, hey, I have wings. Surely I can fly up and avoid most of the dragon's pattern, right? Well, let me tell you why you're wrong. The dragon actually has hard-coded to prevent that. And I'll show you how. He does that. Yeah. If you stay up in that area, the dragon will call down gigantic waves of bullets to wreck you. Don't try and outsmart the dragon. The biggest problem I have with the Thunderclap is that it has a fairly slow reload time. And I took a hit. Oh well. Yeah, the biggest problem I have with it is that the reload time really needs work. Oh, I took 2 hits. Goodness. And you can see here the damage, although it's decent, it's kind of anemic. But it's... well, we knew we were going to come into this fight and have to spend a lot of ammo anyway, so... no harm, no foul, I guess. What else am I going to use? I have not used the Eye of the Beholder. It's actually fairly useful for stuff like this, where those... I'm not... yeah, I'm blocking that. These skulls only go away if you shoot them, so it's useful for things like that. I got all those extra hearts and armor. Oh, goodness. Alright, something's got to change here. What am I doing? Ooh. It's alright, no big deal. Alright, so phase 1 down. What weapon am I going to use to take out the heart? Probably something with high damage. Maybe I can... yeah, I'll try the Void Shotgun. I don't really know how good the damage is going to be, but, you know, I'll give it a shot. That is definitely not as high as I was hoping. What else do we have? We have the Demon Head. That might work better. Has a little bit of a charge-up time, but it shouldn't be too noticeable. Yeah, no, it's... I want to say it's doing better damage as well, but we're still unfortunately going to see a third phase of this. Maybe I'll swap again. Sniper rifle might work. The rate of fire is a little low, but it's also pretty high damage. That was a mistake. Oh my god. Yeah, we start out with the crossbow. Might as well finish it with the crossbow. I really didn't expect this to take 4 cycles. And so, once again, the High Dragon has passed from this world. The old Knight's Flask. What's that from? I think that's from completing... Yes, this is from completing Beast Mode. You may notice there were really no changes to the gameplay. Beast Mode just exists as a checkbox for you to click. But by doing so, you've unlocked the old Knight's Flask and the bait launcher. Something... Oh, what? Okay. Luckily you can't die on the screen, though you do get an achievement if you fall off here. Just for fun. But we have the bullet that can kill the past, and now it's time to find out why an old-time hunter is sitting here in the modern day. The hunter starts off with a sticky crossbow. When you reload, all the bolts explode, and a Colt 1851. It's double action. That means it fires 2 bullets. I'm pretty sure that's what double action means. It seems as though the hunter's past is that she got trapped by Dr. Wolfenclaw, but luckily this time we've got a little bit more technology on our side. And so we must fight Dr. Wolf's monster. And Dr. Wolf himself, of course. Dr. Wolf has a bit of a shield on him, and he can also make his monster berserk, but luckily that shield only lasts for so long. Whenever it wears off... Oh, took a hit. Whenever it wears off, we can give him a quick... Whoa, hello! Yeah, so you can see he's got a buff on him right now, and that's what we need to stop. Anytime we see that buff above the monster's head, Dr. Wolf will be vulnerable. And with Dr. Wolf out of the picture, this monster is not entirely defanged, but he's definitely going to be easier to take care of. I've come this far, I can't die now! Oh, goodness. Oh, no! Oh, no, no, no! That was closer than I wanted it to be. Oh. And so, by defeating Dr. Wolf's monster, we've unlocked our wolf companion, the original Junior, and we've also unlocked Junior with the tennis ball for other Gungeoneers to use. So, having killed the Hunter's Past, we can now move on to either the Convict or the Marine, which I will be leaving up to a vote. I'll be putting that link to that poll into the YouTube description and also in the thread. So please feel free to vote on who you want next to enter the Gungeon. Until then, please join me next time. I'm bad at endings, I'm sorry.
Dragun, Gungeon wing to whisper one truth.